Plaintiff Rhonda Garrett says within 2 months of dating the defendant, they got engaged. However, Rhonda claims the defendant humiliated her when he called it off hours before they were supposed to get married. Rhonda's suing her ex for wedding expenses. Defendant Kelvin Lee says the night before the wedding, Rhonda accused him of cheating simply because he stepped outside to take a phone call. Kelvin claims that was a major red flag, and that's why he decided to call off their nuptials.
Start with you.
Your Honor, I haven't seen Mr. Lee since he called off our wedding. I thought that this was it for me. I thought he was going to be the love of my life for the remainder of my life, but he started acting a little, it was his suspicious behavior when it came to phone calls. We started dating in August of 2019. We both knew that we wanted to be together because we were Christians, we believed in God, we're older, we wanted to be together. We got engaged October 9th. We planned a November 16th wedding. He totally humiliated me. Totally humiliated me. He started having suspicious behavior, like I would ask him, I said,
You want to talk?
Your Honor, we're here today because Ms. Garrett is certainly angry about me calling off the wedding, and I felt that I had very good reason to do that. Ms. Garrett wanted this wedding. I would have married Ms. Garrett without the wedding. She told me she would pay for the wedding, and she wanted it. And because of her own actions, the wedding was called off.
All right. First of all, you all met in August?
Yes, sir.
And 2 months later, you decided to marry?
Yes, sir. 2 months later, decided to marry.
You will have been married within 90 days of meeting each other, essentially.
Approximately 90 to 100 days.
Did you feel you knew her well enough?
Well, I thought that we did know each other.
You felt you knew him well enough?
Yes.
Within 90 days?
yes.
Why did you feel that? This man you can hide a crack habit for 90 days. This
But I
man could have
did.
been on crack.
But I did.
And ain't no telling. He run off from the wedding. He might have been headed to hit that thing.
But I did.
On
felt that
the
I did.
binge. He might have been headed for it. We don't really know why he ran off, man.
Before that, he had suspicious behavior when it came to phone calls.
Like what? Give me some examples.
Okay, I would call him on the phone, and he'd say, call me at a certain time. And he would answer the phone for maybe an hour or so. And I'm like, okay, but he would say that he's talking to his brother or whomever.
Call me back. Don't hear from him for several hours.
Yes.
Disappeared a day or two every now and then.
No.
That's crack. Oh. Oh,
No.
okay. That's all right.
He didn't disappear.
That just sounds like it, man. You calling the man, let me call you back.
It
He
wasn't
don't call
crack.
back for several hours. You
No.
calling, where you at? Where you
wasn't
at? I
crack.
can't reach him.
It wasn't crack.
Okay. I done told you don't know nothing about this man.
But I did.
Plaintiff Rhonda Garrett was engaged to the defendant, but she claims hours before their wedding, he called it off.
Go ahead.
Okay, so the night of the wedding rehearsal, we're decorating. I quietly approached him, and he was on the phone. When he saw me, he made a beeline to the
The
van.
night before the wedding?
Yes, sir. The night before the wedding, November 15th, he made a beeline to the van and was on the phone. And I said, well, why are you on the phone? Why did you have to go outside on the phone? He told me that he got upset because I questioned him about the phone call. He said he had a life before he met me, even though he loved me. He said that I couldn't control him. And if I wanted to talk to another man could come take me off and he wouldn't care. He told me I was not the right woman for him. He told me the wedding is off.
It's not absolutely correct, Your Honor.
You tell me how it went.
is.
Your Honor, I had a phone call. It was from an employer. I stepped outside the church because I thought it was rude to stand in the church and continue the conversation. They had some additional questions. I stepped out. She came out while I was talking on the phone. I stopped the conversation, asked her, is there anything wrong that I need to know about? She said nothing. She went back in the church. It wasn't until on the way home that I asked her about what her concerns were, and that her concerns were that I was talking to someone in Atlanta and that it was a woman in Atlanta. That threw me off, Your Honor. I felt like that was a red flag for me. That's just not the kind of relationship where at this point in life.
How many times had she made mention of any suspicion?
Well, Your Honor, we got engaged October the 9th, Your Honor, and I asked her then, and the next day she sent me a text, Your Honor. I have a text here, October the 10th. She's saying, I'm feeling uneasy. I'm not sure that we're truly connected. This is the very next day.
Let me see that. Next day after the engagement.
Yes, sir. It's the next day after engagement.
Ma'am, what do you say to this?
Mr. Lee can be very curt, very short, very quick-tempered, and I told him, please don't talk to me like that.
But when you said, I am not sure I am the one for you, meaning you also put the wedding in play one day after the engagement.
Yeah, well, that's how I felt.
He did it one day before the marriage. You did it one day after the engagement. Y'all believe in y'all one days, don't you? That's one thing. Nonetheless, what do you want to tell me the wedding expenses are that you're suing him for, and whether he agreed to pay for them before you accumulated them? Go ahead.
Actually, we both were supposed to pay for the wedding, but I ended up paying for everything because when we first got engaged, he had a job, but then he quit the job, so I ended up paying everything.
When did you find out he no longer had the job?
Sometime in October, I would say maybe that particular
Why did he
week.
say quit?
He quit the job, then he told me.
Oh, okay.
Then he told me. He quit the job,
okay.
then he told me.
No, that exactly went, Your Honor.
You tell me about this quitting the job.
I had started a job which was a 12-hour night shift, and it was a very taxing night. It was just a very extremely busy night, and during that night, I didn't have an opportunity to call her. And the very next day, that was a big fight in itself, Your Honor.
She required you to call from work? Or?
She was asking me to call from work.
Okay, that's it?
No, but that's it. But
You got it easy.
Wow.
My wife comes to my work.
Well, she said that she might.
Look right behind you. That's my wife.
Oh, my goodness.
You don't clap. So you got it easy. My wife shows up, doctor. And in a minute, she's gonna be folding them arms like that, watching every move I make. And depending on what's said, she gonna, you better not say a word. That one of these cute young girls in here coming here and smiling and grinning and just trying to earn some favor with me because that, man, are you kidding? I won't make it out the door without having it. Why you let that young girl? I said, that's why I don't like you to come here at my job. Well, I'm gonna be here anytime I want, and I'm gonna sit right in the front. There ain't nothing you can do. That's where she at, right in the front. So you got it easy.
Thank you.
I'm about to just call. I wish I could just call and say I'm at work. She's showing up, doctor.
Well, Your Honor, when I didn't make that call, then I got a text the next morning that made it difficult to have a conversation again about my whereabouts, if I talked to somebody at work, or it just went to that same route again. So I have a text here, Your Honor.
I have my text too.
What are yours telling me? What are yours gonna say?
How I had to call people early in the morning to tell them that the wedding was off at 5 o'clock in the morning, and also wondering why did he do me the way he did me? Why did he just up and drop the wedding?
Plaintiff Rhonda Garrett was engaged to the defendant, but she claims hours before their wedding, he called it off.
When was the wedding scheduled again?
November 16th.
November 16th, okay. October 20th. I'm tired of calling you. I was concerned because I did not hear from you last night. I don't know why you did not call, but I'm going to tell you right now, I will not be going through any changes with you at all. I told you mess up on me and you are out of my life, gone. I am not accusing you, but if I am right, if something or someone has caught you, ma'am, this is a little much. This is a little much, ma'am, because he didn't call you from work that night. You accusing the man, somebody didn't caught your attention. I told you if you mess up on me, you're out of my life. Now you're throwing the man out of your life. You're overreacting, ma'am. I don't know if I'd have been able to keep it going. I got to hear all that. My goodness. Well, then the night before, tell me what exactly happened in terms of him telling you that, and what was your response?
I asked him why would you do that? Why would you just call the wedding off? If you didn't want the wedding, you could have told me weeks before then. Why would you allow me to do all of this planning and planning and planning? But the point is, he lied. He didn't want the wedding. And instead of manning up and saying, Rhonda, let's stop, let's control this, I don't want the wedding, he waited till the last minute. He waited till 9:30 at night, and the wedding was at 1:30 the next day.
Yeah, he's not the first person to essentially lead at the altar.
No.
But had he agreed to pay for part of the expenses?
Yes, he had.
It was half?
No, he was just going to pay for what he could pay for.
Okay, so you're suing him for the total amount because he backed out and caused you
grief, humiliation.
And had you agreed to pay for some of the wedding?
Sir, I was amenable to paying for some of the wedding. Rhonda knew my circumstance. She knew I was in between jobs. And it was clear to her that we didn't have to have this. I'll marry you with that. It was Rhonda who was adamant about having this.
And that's the dress?
Yes.
How much did you pay for the dress? I see
the dress and accessories, $1,121. And he did agree to pay for certain things in the wedding, but when it came time to pay, I paid because he didn't have the money.
Your Honor, I didn't know that she...
Do you want to get married or not? All this I didn't know and the money. And
if she
you want to get married or not?
No.
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 Why?
No. No.
Why?
Making me think he wanted this wedding when he really didn't.
Okay.
Because if he did, we would be...
You're angry right now, ma'am. If you all were that much in love, let the anger subside and then you all give it some more thought. In the meantime, I'm going to order him to pay because I believe he misled you up until the night of. So I will conclude that that was misrepresentation. You all think about it and take a little time off.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Because I think you should be together. Have
Thank
a good
you.
day. Judge me for the plaintiff.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
You will give me that ring back, correct?
Absolutely nothing.
You give me that ring back, correct?
I told you I would. Make sure you're home to get it so you won't lie and say that I didn't mail it. You have to sign for it.
Thank you so much.